Aesthetics of Anxiety is a fashion documentary directed by Chen in 2015. The film uses the story of an original macrame clothing collection by Bayan Sadari and draws a surreal parallel to a spider and its prey. The film also focuses on the intricacies and craftsmanship of the dress through the web motif, thus bringing the designer's clothing to life and also creating a sense of tension for the audience through the use of soundtracks to aid the visual style. This documentary uses the portrait structure to communicate the complicated nature of the dress that Sadari has created. The documentary uses Bayan Sadari's collection to create the themes of tension between predation and self-sacrifice.
Rose web is irregular and without apparent design. A human hair next to a strand of web is huge.
By drawing upon the colors in the clothes to create the visual tone of the documentary, the filmmaker already establishes a sense of danger. This is further enhanced to the narration of the 1960 Black Widow Spider documentary by Ken Middleham to support the visual images of the dress and the designer. The audience makes this connection between the spider's web and the web-like nature of the dress and its complexity. As Lisa Barash writes in Chapter 8 of Post-Production of Sound, the use of voice-over narration is usually the old omniscient voice of God, usually white, Western, and male, prefiguring and explaining more or less redundant images, which in the case of aesthetics anxiety is true to the extent to which it acts like a voice of God, as Abasai makes a symbolic connection between the disembodied off-screen narration about a Black Widow spider towards a fashion designer and her collection, and the intricacies of the dress that she has made.
No spider is known than the dangerous Black Widow, whose poison is 10 times as strong as that of a rattlesnake. The Black Widow is easily recognized by her coal black body and red hourglass marking. The hourglass is usually exposed because the Black Widow hangs upside down from her web. She belongs to the family Theradiidae, the comb-footed spiders. The Black Widow subsists on various insects, such as this cockroach.
He begins to shape the audience's perspective on the dress that is presented by connecting the shots and audio together. Abasai is able to draw a surreal parallel to this spider and its prey. This parallel is also further heightened through the use of another soundtrack. The 1800 Symphony No. 3 Poco Allegretto by Brahms is also used to help build dramatic tension between the narration and the visuals, as seen through this clip.
The fangs are hollow and about a 50th of an inch long. They're fed by unusually large poison sacs.
The use of dramatic scoring to match the events and intensify the moment is used throughout the documentary. An example would be the visual image of the pin, and Sadari pricking herself is symbolic of the fangs that the Black Widow spider has. The tension between the predation and the self-sacrifice arises to the suspenseful music which holds interest and guides the emotion of the audience. To conclude, the filmmaker's choice to use two external soundtracks to create the parallels between the designer and the spider works very well as it guides the thoughts of the audience in a particular direction. However, these soundtracks do not work alone, as the visuals and the symbolism behind the actions and the props on the visuals help to further enhance the soundtracks and the meaning behind the documentary.